بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله وكفى وسلام على عباده الذين اصطفى أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ولتجدنهم أحرص الناس على حياة ومن الذين أشركوا يود أحدهم لو يعمر 1000 سنة وما هو بمزحزحه من العذاب أن يعمر والله بصير بما يعملون قل من كان عدوا لجبريل فإنه نزله على قلبك بإذن الله مصدقا لما بين يديه وهدى وبشرى للمؤمنين من كان عدوا لله وملائكته ورسله وجبريل وميكال فإن الله عدو للكافرين صدق الله العظيم. Alhamdulillah, a lot has been said regarding ayat number 96. We have tried to cover the reality of dunya, the reality of this worldly life. We have tried our best to explain the deception of this dunya, the ghurur of this dunya, and how this dunya, it is a zahra, it is a flower, but the flower of this world is something that at first may have a good scent, but its taste is very bitter. And it is nothing but a trial or a test. The glamour of this dunya, the beauty of this dunya, the deception of this dunya, the deception of this world, the mirage that it casts, like someone traveling in the desert and wishing for water, and in the distance they see water. A mirage that they see. When they get there's nothing. The only thing they realize is that they've wasted their efforts in trying to reach that point. Had they been wise, they would have navigated in the right direction. But there are many, many other details to the reality of this dunya that the Quran speaks about from various other angles as well. Unfortunately, tafseer is something that when you start an ayah, if you continue, you may spend years and not necessarily be able to really grasp the wisdom of one ayat of the Quran. So today I'll just do the translation of ayat number 96, and then inshallah we'll try to go to ayat number 97, because there's much of Surat al-Baqarah still left, and we still have the rest of the Quran is also still left. So we'll try our best inshallah just to give the translation of ayat number 96. I also want to point out that alhamdulillah, we spend our time in teaching Quran and Sunnah, so sometimes for halaqat like this we don't really have time to prepare. I don't think I come here very prepared. All these bayan that are going on, these are things that we've been teaching, and alhamdulillah, with the barakah being in the halaqat of the ulama, in the presence of the scholars, and also teaching that. So that is what has been coming out. It is not something that before class I'm coming in preparing that I'm only going to talk about this ayah. My goal is to try to finish it as quickly as possible. And this is just something that, this is a point that our mashayikh and elders emphasized very much, that don't let this world destroy you. Don't let this dunya destroy you. It has destroyed many. So we should be very, very careful in checking ourselves, checking our nafs, checking our desires. We should also try our best to go on in the path of tazkiyah, purification of our souls, getting rid of any kind of hatred or jealousy for anyone. Otherwise, these kind of diseases of the heart are something that makes a person yearn for this world. It makes a person desire this world. And anyone who desires this world, they're making a very terrible bargain. Because you're desiring something that is temporary against the pleasures of something that is eternal. So we should be wise people. Just regarding this ayah, Sayyidina Isa alayhi salam, he told his Hawariyin, his companions, disciples, he told them that make a man's heart is where his treasure is. So build your treasure in that place which is everlasting versus that place which will end. A man's heart is where his treasure is. That is why our hearts are in our jobs, our hearts are in our businesses, our hearts are in our bank accounts. We even dream about money, you know. This is how much, where our hearts are where our treasures are. Wise people, they build a treasure in the akhirah, so they're always dreaming about Jannah, you know. They're always dreaming about paradise, they're always dreaming about meeting Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us hopes and desires like that of the awliya and the sahaba radiallahu anhum, that we may also aspire for the akhirah. So that is why we should check where our treasures are. Then our hearts will yearn for that. As for the kuffar, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in ayat number 96, وَلَتَجِدَنَّهُمْ أَحْرَصَ النَّاسِ عَلَى حَيَاءٍ. We will definitely without a shadow of doubt find that they are the most greedy for this worldly life. وَمِنَ الَّذِينَ أَشْرَكُوا, even more than those who are mushrikeen, the Ahli Kitab, they desire for this world. Why? Because their treasure is here. They've built their treasure here, so their hearts are here. يَوَدُّ أَحَدُهُمْ لَوْ يُعَمَّرُ أَلْفَ سَنَةٍ. Each one of them is wishing to live in this world for 1,000 years. وَمَا هُوَ بِمُزَحْزِحِهِ مِنَ الْعَذَابِ أَنْ يُعَمَّرُ. But the reality is that even if they're given such a long life, it will not diminish from them the punishment that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has in store for them because of their wicked nature and their wicked deeds. وَاللَّهُ بَصِيرٌ بِمَا يَعْمَلُونَ. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He definitely watches and He sees all of their actions. There's nothing hidden from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This whole system and this creation, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created such a system in this universe, and especially in this dunya, in this world, that everything is a witness. On the Day of Judgment, everything will be brought as a witness, either in favor of a person or against a person. So much so that even our limbs, our skin, it will speak on the Day of Judgment. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned this in the Quran, that their hearing, their sight, and also even their skin, it will bear witness against them on the Day of Judgment, and they'll start debating with their own skin. وَقَالُوا لِجُلُودِهِمْ لِمَ شَهِدْتُمْ عَلَيْنَا. They'll say to their julud, you know, back then, jild is skin. Julud is plural. So if you go down to the root of what the skin is made out of, we call it DNA. Now they have a whole research done on how much memory space is in just the DNA. They found that in 1 gram of DNA, something you can put in a teaspoon, they have over 200 petabytes of information can be stored inside this DNA. 1 petabyte is 1,000 terabytes. You can now think, for those who are in technology, you can understand how much information can be stored inside just the skin. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks about this in the Quran. We as humans have yet to get to that stage to learn how to use this kind of memory system, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned it in the Quran, that they'll start debating with their own skin, they'll start debating with their DNA. وَقَالُوا لِجُلُودِهِمْ لِمَ شَهِدْتُمْ عَلَيْنَا. They'll say to their julud, even though we only have one skin, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala used a plural format to make it clear that there are things working inside your skin that you don't know about yet. Time will come, you will understand what this means. That time is slowly coming now. The miracle of the Quran, that till Qiyamah, people will start understanding some of these terms in the Quran. The new research will come out, people will start to become aware, they'll start realizing the Quran spoke about this 1400 years ago. And we're just cracking the ice, just the tip of the iceberg. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said they'll be debating with their own skin. Lima shahidtum alayna. Why are you bearing witness against us? You have to burn also. And the skin will tell them, قَالُوا أَنْتَقَنَا اللَّهُ الَّذِي أَنْتَقَ كُلَّ شَيْءٍ وَهُوَ خَلَقَكُمْ أَوَّلَ مَرَّةٍ. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He has enabled us just like He enables anything and everything. We're given this time in this world. And these memory systems that are even within our own bodies, they're like hard drives. And whatever you program into a hard drive, so that's what's going to come out. On the Day of Judgment, all of that will be played. There'll be nothing missing. And that book and that system will be so amazing that the criminals, they'll be looking at their own book of deeds. They'll be looking at their own record and they'll be saying, "Ma li hadha al-kitab." What kind of strange record is this? "La yughadiru saghiratan wa la kabiratan illa ahsaha." There's nothing major and nothing minor, but it has recorded it perfectly. There'll be nothing missing on that day. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that we definitely watch their a'mal. We know what they're doing. They think they're doing in secrecy. They have all these secret organizations. They have all these secret clubs and they have all these things going on in the background. They think nobody knows. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says we watch all of their actions. They think they can hide. They give the people all these funny names and all these ideas that there's these things going on. And in reality, they have their own agendas. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes one thing very clear in the Quran. وَمَكَرُوا مَكْرًا وَمَكَرْنَا مَكْرًا وَهُمْ لَا يَشْعُرُونَ فَانظُرْ كَيْفَ كَانَ عَاقِبَةُ مَكْرِهِمْ أَنَّا دَمَّرْنَاهُمْ مَقَوْمَهُمْ أَجْمَعِينَ. That they were plotting and they made very great plots. وَمَكَرْنَا مَكْرًا. We also had our own plot, our own system was there. وَهُمْ لَا يَشْعُرُونَ. They didn't even realize it. Whatever they were doing, they didn't realize how we were going to make it backfire on them. فَانظُرْ كَيْفَ كَانَ عَاقِبَةُ مَكْرِهِمْ. Then go see what was the result of their plots and their evil plots. أَنَّا دَمَّرْنَاهُمْ مَقَوْمَهُمْ أَجْمَعِينَ. We destroyed them with it and all of their nations, those that were plotting with them. And this is the system of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Anyone that has come to try and defeat Islam or to remove the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the only thing they have done is that they have spread Islam faster than what we Muslims could do. All these things that have been going on from September 11 to all the various attacks, to all the various things. Every time something happens, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forces them to come out and have to say that no, not all Muslims are like this. And they have to tell everyone that no, there's a small group, This is the system of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And they're forced to do this. They know, they understand. And with all of these things, people start to research, okay, is really Islam like this? And they come to see the beauty of Islam, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes it a means of their guidance. We Muslims, we became lazy in da'wah. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created a system where people wanted to find out what is Islam. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave them hidayah. So this is the system of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But the reality is that they have this desire to live here forever. And they want to make this their utopia, their perfect world. And to make that their perfect world, they cannot have any kind of opposition. So they try their best to remove anything or any obstacles that would give them any kind of opposition. One of the other objections they had in accepting the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was that they asked Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam that who is bringing this Quran to you as a revelation? So Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam made it clear to them that the Quran is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and it is sent through Jibreel alayhi salam. There are 3 ways through which the Quran was revealed to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. There's a very lengthy hadith in Sahih Bukhari about this as well. The first way was that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would send Jibreel alayhi salam, and Jibreel alayhi salam would come and recite the Quran to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And that was one of the easiest ways. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said that was very easy for me. I could understand him, he would come, he would recite it with me, he would memorize it. And the early stages when it started, so Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam used to recite very quickly to memorize it. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala then also ordered him, don't even move your tongue. لا تحرك به لسانك لتعجل به إن علينا جمعه وقرآنه. That don't move your tongue when it is being recited to you. Just listen. It's our job to compile it in your heart. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent Jibreel alayhi salam. This was the easiest. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said the second was the most heaviest, was that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed the Quran directly into my heart. And this used to be very, very heavy for me. And that was very heavy for me. There are a few instances where Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, one time he was lying down and sleeping, and he had his head on the thigh of Sayyidina Aisha radiallahu anha, and the wahi came, just his head was there. She said, I felt his head become so heavy, I thought my leg was going to break. Yeah, my leg was finished. Just as his head became so heavy. And afterwards, he also used to sweat. In the very cold weather, he was seen sweating. It was such a heavy nuzul, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would directly send it into his heart. It was a direct download. And that download was very, very, he said, it's so heavy for me. And he said after that he used to get up, he would wipe the sweat, and he would come and then he would recite the ayat. The ayat were given to him, the tafseer was given to him. Inna alayna jam'ahu wa qur'ana fa idha qara'nahu fattabi' qur'ana thumma inna alayna bayana. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would not only give him the ayat, but also give him the bayan of those ayat. The tafseer of that ayat was also given to him. Then Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, on one occasion he was riding his camel, and this kind of wahi was sent to him. It was sent directly into his heart, and the camel collapsed in its place. You know how much load a camel can take? And the camel couldn't hold him, it just collapsed. It just comes from the weight of what was being revealed. The Quran is very, very heavy, something we don't realize. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in the Quran, لو أنزلنا هذا القرآن على جبل لرأيته خاشعا متصدعا من خشية الله. Had we revealed this Quran on the mountain would have crumbled from the fear of Allah. It would have crumbled to dust from the fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this was a very, very heavy time. There were many ayat in the Quran that were revealed like this to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. The third way that the Quran was revealed to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam was that there used to be the humming of bees, or in another narration it mentions the ringing of a bell. Like how bells sound, or the buzzing of bees used to sound. So Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he used to hear this ringing of bell, and he would cover himself. He used to start focusing on the sound that was coming. And from that the words would be clear to him, made clear to him. Those that were sitting around, the Sahaba radiallahu anhum, they also witnessed this. They used to say, we used to hear the buzzing of bees, like so many bees in one place. As we used to look around, there was no bees, there was nothing. Then we knew that some wahi is coming, some revelation is coming. One of the Sahaba asked Sayyidina Umar radiallahu anhu, Abdullah ibn Umar radiallahu anhuma, that I want to see Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam when he's getting wahi. So show me that time. So Abdullah ibn Umar radiallahu anhu, I believe it was Umar radiallahu anhu, he said, well, we don't control that, we don't know. It just happened, we happened to be there. Just come around, be there often. Just be around Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam as much as you can. When that condition comes, I'll tell you. So after some time passed, they were sitting in a halaqah, and Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he was talking and he just froze, stopped, and his face changed. So Umar radiallahu anhu, hit the Sahabi beside him. He said, this is the time, look. Then they said, we started hearing the buzzing, the bees started coming. He said Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam covered himself. Very just completely isolated himself, very focused. And after that condition passed, the buzzing passed, he cleared his face, and sweat coming down. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam cleared his face and he recited the ayats to those who were the scribes of the Quran. There were 12 Sahaba radiallahu anhum. There were 12 Sahaba. At the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, they were katibin al-wahi. They were known as katibin al-wahi. Those who used to write the wahi. They used to write the Quran. So Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam told them, now write the Quran, write these are the ayat. And they used to write the ayat, and he would tell them where in the Quran these ayat are supposed to be, after which ayah and before which ayah. This is not some made up system that somebody came up by themselves and made the system we have the Quran today. No, there was 12 katibin al-wahi. There was 12 Sahaba. Amongst them was Sayyidina Muawiyah radiallahu anhu. Amongst them was very famous Zayd bin Thabit radiallahu anhu. And Zayd bin Thabit radiallahu anhu, he was very amazing. He was a young youth. He memorized the whole Hebrew language in 1 week. And he memorized the Hebrew, even the whole Torah, he memorized it in 17 days or 16 days. He was a different kind of memory. So he was also made in charge of writing the wahi, memorizing the wahi. And there were also the Qurra. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam would also tell them the various ways of reciting the Quran. There are 7 qira'at of the Quran. And there are 10 riwayat. There are the specific ways. For those who are familiar with qira'ah, I'm not going to go into that detail. It's a whole different, wad-duha and wad-duhi. And various different styles. Each style is so beautiful. And you have so many various kinds. The most famous one that we have, I'm not going to go into, Hafs and Asim is the most famous. And then you have Warsh, and you have Shu'ba, and so many different kinds. And we have some Qurra here also, I'm not going to go into those details. We're not going to. But they have various kinds. And each one is so beautiful when you go into it. Some ways really amazing, unbelievable in certain parts of the Quran. Sometimes even the words are changed. It's a different word in its place, but the meaning doesn't change. It's amazing. So the qira'at were also taught. So these are the katibin al-wahi. So the easiest way that was a revelation to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam was the way through Jibreel alayhi salam. Large portions of the Quran was revealed through Jibreel alayhi salam. Sometimes it was one ayah. Sometimes it was few ayat. And sometimes it was a whole surah. Surah An-Nisa was, the whole Surah An-Nisa was revealed at one time. And if you think Surah An-Nisa is long, it's not only long, it's very hard. One of the hardest surahs to memorize. Especially when you get into the ayat of mirath, when you get into the ayat of inheritance, Allahu Akbar. Okay? There are many ahkam in Islam. You might think are hard. When you study mirath, all those ahkam will be easy. Okay? So mirath, the inheritance, subhanallah, the kind of mathematics you need to know just to understand. It's amazing. This goes to prove that the Quran cannot be the word of a human being. No way that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam could have been so accurate in math. There was one of the students, he did a PhD in the Mirath of Islam. He was not even Muslim. He did his PhD, and after he did the PhD on the inheritance of Islam, he came to his defense and he just accepted Islam. This is what made you accept Islam. He said it's impossible for even you professors to know this kind of math. This is not human math, The kind of accuracy that is required to be accurate in this, it's unbelievable. And the variations, the various kinds of possibilities. I mean, you really have to understand probability and statistical probability. And then you have to understand every variation. It's so difficult, subhanallah. Even the ulama who study mirath, after you do your ulum, the 6 years or 8 year ulum program, so you have a 3-month intensive mirath. And after you come out of 3-month intensive mirath, when someone asks you, okay, I have a question about mirath, you say, hold on. Let's go back. I will consult and I will let you know. Even they realize how difficult it is. It's a very difficult thing. So this surah, whole surah An-Nisa, and there's only 2 ayat in surah An-Nisa, or few ayat. In one place is 2 ayat, in another place is 3-4 other ayat. These few ayat of surah An-Nisa, almost 200 ayat of surah An-Nisa. Very, very long ayat, 1.5 juz, was revealed at one time. So this is how the Quran was revealed. And there's not a single mistake, not a single error, not a single kind of repetition where it can make something else wrong. Not a single kind of, it's unbelievable how beautiful it is. There's no part of the Quran that you can say contradicts another part of the Quran. No kind of contradiction, no kind of mistake. How perfect the Quran is, subhanallah. But the Bani Israel, they came to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, and they said, we have a problem if Jibreel alayhi salam is the one who revealed this Quran to you, or who was sent to reveal the Quran to you, then we can't accept this Quran. So Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam asked, why? They said, you see, Jibreel alayhi salam, he was sent on many occasions to destroy us. Many times in history, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was sent Jibreel alayhi salam to punish the Bani Israel. In various ways they were punished. Whenever they would kill a Nabi of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent Jibreel alayhi salam, sometimes with another angel, and they used to wipe out those or send a disease against those. They used to do that. They said, we have a problem with Jibreel alayhi salam, so we cannot accept the Quran. He's kind of an enemy to us. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned this in ayat number 97. قُلْ مَنْ كَانَ عَدُوًّا لِجِبْرِيلٍ فَإِنَّهُ نَزَّلَهُ عَلَىٰ قَلْبِكَ بِإِذْنِ اللَّهِ. O Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, tell them, Man kana aduwan li Jibreel, whosoever wants to make an enemy of Jibreel alayhi salam. Then remember one thing, فَإِنَّهُ نَزَّلَهُ عَلَىٰ قَلْبِكَ بِإِذْنِ اللَّهِ. Jibreel alayhi salam has been sent to reveal this Quran to your heart, O Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. مُصَدِّقًا لِمَا بَيْنَ يَدَيْهِ. This Quran is confirming whatever is with them. Jibreel alayhi salam was not some regular angel. Remember one thing, one reality of the Quran, our aqeedah, our belief. The Quran, it is not a creation. It is kalam Allah. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He is Malikul Mulk. He is the King of all kingdoms, King of all kings. So anything related to this Quran or attached to this Quran is not something average. It is the best of the best. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala selected Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, the best of all of the prophets, Imam al-Mursaleen. The best of all of the Anbiya alayhim salam, the best of all of the messengers. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala selected the best night for the revelation of this Quran, Laylatul Qadr. And what is Laylatul Qadr? Khayrun min alfi shahr. It is better than 1,000 months. Actually, 1,000 months is the average lifespan. Sometimes we talk 83 years in 4. What is 83 years in 4 months? It's the average lifespan. So one night is better than the lifespan of a human being. Okay, this is Laylatul, just to make it simple. One night is better than the lifespan of a human being. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala selected that night for the revelation of this Quran. Why? Because whosoever takes this Quran seriously, so it will change their whole life. It will make them the best of those who have a lifespan, even if they don't live a full lifespan. No? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chose the best of nights. I'm not going to go into the fadail of Laylatul Qadr. MashaAllah, the hadith are full of the fadail of Laylatul Qadr. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chose the best of all months, the month of Ramadan. Shahru Ramadan, alladhi unzila fihi al-Quran. The month of Ramadan is that month in which the Quran was revealed. And we get into various debates as to which night is Laylatul Qadr. The odd nights, the last 10 nights of Ramadan are the most known from the ahadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. The 21st, 23rd, 25th, 27th, 29th. Which one is it specifically? Let me tell you something. It's all of them, okay? Because the whole month of Ramadan is the best month. So spend the whole month of Ramadan in ibadah. Don't try to just find one night. If you spend the whole month of Ramadan in ibadah, so you got it. Maybe you think it's one night, but what if it's not that one? What if it's another one? Then what? That's why wise people, you take every single night seriously, so then you will, you'll get it. If I bring you 10 boxes, and they're all closed, and I tell you, there's a rock in all of these boxes, but there's one box that has a diamond, a multi-million-dollar diamond. You have the choice to take one box, guess. You have the choice to take all 10 boxes. What will you do? You'll take all 10, okay? If there are 30, you'll take all 30, okay? There's no way you'll choose, just try. You won't even, try to guess. You say, I'm not even going to try, I'm just going to take all of them, okay? So when I take the whole month of Ramadan, all those nights are great. First, show me which night of month of Ramadan is not great. Then we can tell you which one, right? All the nights are great, take them seriously. There are various opinions. Some have said that it's 21st and 23rd. Some have seen it on the 27th. And some swear that it's on the 27th. Allahu A'lam, I don't know. There are various. There was one unique opinion that I saw. And this was by one of the mashayikh. And he said that I have kind of seen. He said, I read the seerah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And it has come to my knowledge that the Quran, the first revelation revealed to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam was in Ghar Hira. And we know from the seerah. Jibreel alayhi salam came to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam and crushed his chest. We know the famous story. And told him, Iqra. And he said, Ma'ana biqari'in. And he did this 3 times. What night was that? That was Laylatul Qadr, right? Inna anzalnahu fi Laylatul Qadr. The Quran, the first revelation came in Laylatul Qadr. What night of the week was that?
Monday.
Huh?
Monday.
Monday. It was Monday night. So in the last 10 odd nights, when you're looking for Laylatul Qadr, find which odd night is Monday night. Simple. Then, all the other nights around it, do ibadah on those nights too. Okay? So, do all 10 nights. Okay, not just that Monday night. That is why sometimes people say, oh, the 23rd or the 25th, because that's coming on Monday night. They're seeing it on that night. Now you understand? Don't say, oh, there's this confusion. Some see it 21st, some see it 23rd, some see it 27th. Which night is it? It's Monday night. And whichever odd night falls on Monday night, and Monday night can be Sunday, Monday, or Monday, Tuesday, whichever one is the odd one. Then that one is Laylatul Qadr. That's simple. That's why sometimes it's 25th, sometimes it is 27th, sometimes it is 21st. This is the wisdom behind it. Do you understand? But don't look for only Monday night, because it might also be Tuesday night. Okay? Now you get it? Okay. I'm not trying to specify what night. I'm just being very clear with it. Okay? But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala selected, and each one of them is very great. Now, do you think that if all of these preparations were made, do you think that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would not select the best of the angels to reveal the Quran? So Jibreel alayhi salam was selected from amongst the angels. And he was not some normal angel. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions his sifat in the Quran also. وَإِنَّهُ لَتَنْزِيلُ رَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ نَزَلَ بِهِ الرُّوحُ الْأَمِينَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says this Quran is a revelation from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is revealed through Ruh al-Amin, Jibreel alayhi salam. What are some of his qualities? ذِي قُوَّةٍ عِنْدَ ذِي الْعَرْشِ مَكِينٍ. He's very, very powerful. He's a very, very powerful angel. He's not some normal angel. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given him 600 wings. 600 wings. In one hadith, he told Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam that, O Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent me to destroy Qawmi Lut. There were two cities, Sadum and Ghamura. Qawmi Lut, they lived in two cities, two major cities, Sadum and Ghamura, two cities. Jibreel alayhi salam said, I lifted them to the heavens. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told me, take them from the core of the earth, lift up the whole two cities. He said, I lifted them and then I was ordered to flip them upside down. So Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam asked, how big were these cities? How difficult it was for you? So Jibreel alayhi salam, he brought his wing. He said, I picked the two cities up on the tip of this one wing. I have 600 wings. On the tip of one wing, he destroyed two cities. On Laylatul Qadr, he is sent to this earth. Jibreel alayhi salam, he comes on Laylatul Qadr every year. He's sent into this earth. It is said that when Jibreel alayhi salam, he's going back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the morning when the sun is rising, so he opens one of his wings. And by opening that one wing, the rays of the sun, they look different in the morning. This is the last sign of Laylatul Qadr, to find it. The night was Laylatul Qadr. You can read about the signs of Laylatul Qadr in the ahadith. But one of the last signs is that when you look at the sunlight at sunrise, it doesn't give off the rays that it hurts your eyes. Don't stare at the sun. Don't be like Donald Trump, okay? Sorry, I have to use him as a reference, subhanAllah. But don't stare there. I'm just giving you the example that it doesn't hurt the eyes to look. It actually kind of looks a little bit bluish, greenish. Because the wing of Jibreel alayhi salam is in the way. One wing. So this is not some normal kind of angel. He has 600 wings like this. Inshallah, we'll continue tomorrow. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us understanding. And give all of us the tawfiq to practice His deen. وَمَا عَلَيْنَا إِلَّا الْبَلَاغِ. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Sayyidil Mursaleen. Wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'een. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم اللهم نور قلوبنا بالقرآن وزين أخلاقنا بالقرآن ونجنا من النار بالقرآن وادخلنا في الجنة بالقرآن اللهم اجعل القرآن لنا في الدنيا قرينا وفي القبر مونسا وعلى الصراط نورا وفي الجنة رفيقا ومن النار سترا وحجابا ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين سبحان الله وبحمده سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك